What's good? What's happening? What's happening? All right, man. Let's chop it up. Sir Ken, what's going on, man? All right. Joe, 704 Joe, what's going on, man? Dallas in the house, no doubt. Not Raja, what's going on? Harold Jones, Derek McKee, Lauren Bevel, what is happening? E double, L File Player, what's going on, L File Player? What's going on, Cali Enigma? Justin Marsh, James Harris, John Gotti, what's going on, man? Gravy Davy in the building. What's going on, man? Sir Ken, salute to you as well, man. Said International Boxing Salute LDBC. Best fight, the best. Flint, and we in here. Yes, sir. Big Doss, what's going on, man? Salute to you. It does it. John Black Johnny. Boxing and barbecue. I'm good, man. A good day. What's going on, 78 Sports TV? Carl, what's going on? Boxing and barbecue. Johnny Cage, Bob McCallie. Yes, sir. What's Tube is this mine? Man, let me get this going for you, man. He said, happy the Don, happy Talk Tom. Talk Tom Thursday, man. Bet that Bomb Squad man down. The undisputed T-Rex shit. Yes, sir. Much love in that super chat, man. PK Boxing MMA, what's good? Jamal Allen, Anthony, what's going on, Anthony? Whose tube is this mine, sir? What's good? Justin March in the building. Hey, subscribe to KQKC Boxing. Justin March, much love in the super chat. 78 said $1 per minute. We went over, bro. That's all right, man. I appreciate it. It's all good, man. I enjoy the conversation, man. I get my workout in. When you guys are doing your thing. I always adjust. Gotta adjust for the trill. Much love in the super chat, man. I always adjust for the trill. I'm a persnickety dude, but not when it comes to cats. I gotta show that good. I love trill boxing talk. What's going on? Maurice Brown, what's going on? Jay Hutchinson, Justin Hutchinson, Woolbag, B&B said, morning for 9. Can you tell Black Fight Fan and 78 on block on both of their channels? Yes, sir. 78 just heard B&B Boxing. I will. Yes, sir. I'll tell him. I'll send him a note. Justin Marsh, what's good? Safety Zone. Marcus the Villain, what's going on? Big Snack Pack in the building. Much love in the super chat, man. John Gotti says 78 had Black Fight Fan on the back pedal. Man, that's a tough stance to hold, man. Black Fight Fan TV was throwing. He was trying to fight it off, dog, but it's too tough. It's too tough. It's too tough to make an argument for favoritism. Because you know dang on well, Vasil Lomachenko getting a shot at a title, his second fight in. Nah, man, nah. And the greatest amateur ever. Why? Because he stayed pro till he was 25 years old. You got guys 18 years old winning Olympic gold medals. Come on, man. That's the pros, too. That's the amateurs. Well, you don't get no extra credit for the amateurs. That's the amateurs. That's a whole different sport. But anyway, you know how it goes. Black Fight Fan TV got to ride with his boy, though. I respect that. Ricky Samuels in the building. YouTube didn't show my super chat. What's up for now? Nino Brown, my bad. Let me go to the comment section, man. I appreciate the support big time. Really do. I want to get on these other conversations real quick. What's up to everybody in the chat, man? Y'all know if I didn't say your name, my apologies. Gold Pig. When every time I go to this comment, LDBC really hate Eddie Hearn. That's because Eddie Hearn is a jackass. Okay, whatever. Trying to make it sound like we shouldn't. Why shouldn't somebody dislike Anthony with him? Ricky Samuel said, oh, my man. Yo, they wouldn't let you give a super chat. Sorry, man. You know how it is. I know that I appreciate your support, man. I give you a gong for effort. You get a gong for effort. No worries, man. Let me hit up. Yeah. Damn, man, I don't even want to forget this, man. Hold on, man. Getting cats unblocked is important. So let me just write me a little message to them real quick in their email in case they're not listening, because you know cats be having shit to do. Trying to compose it right now. Okay, that's 78. All right, so 78 you said, and Black Fight Fan. More than likely, that's when cats were I meant Black Fight Fan, homie. Okay, let me see. B and B. What is it? B and B boxing? Let me make sure I get this right. Is it B and B boxing? Yeah, B and B boxing. I just copy your shit right there. All right, man, we're gonna go. That's really important. Cats getting blocked off the trail is not, is not cool. All right, cool. All right, I sent it. Send them an email too, man. That's how you get unblocked by cats, man. Send an email. Oh, there you go. What's going on? Okay, Nino Brown Boxing. Much love in the super chat. Yes, sir. All right, so we got that right. All right, we had to take care of that administrative problem, man, because Hearn's a liar, man. These cats talking about you really are hating, trying to make people sound irrational. Look, man, if somebody doesn't like somebody, why don't you ask why? First of all, I think you don't like him. Really? What was your first clue? The video I made? Of course I don't like Eddie Hearn, man. The dude a lie. He be lying and trying to tear down people with lies. What is there to like? What has he done for me? Nothing. He ain't even gonna give me, man, he's got, every time he got an opportunity to do something that I would like, he don't do it. Every time. Make the Luis Ortiz fight. I will not complain about that fight. But I do find it interesting how people, let me get to this Crawford Khan, but before we did, I do find it interesting, though, how people are trying to use stuff as a preemptive argument, right? To justify, like they're trying to justify Anthony Joshua not fighting Luis Ortiz as a replacement by saying this. Well, what if he's not ready for the fight because it's too short a turn? No. So I don't, and if Anthony Joshua beats him, I don't want to hear any excuses, right? Okay, how about this? How about we get to that point first? First of all, you got to make the fight before you can even start talking about whether or not he's ready or not. Make the fight, period. Okay, and once you make the fight, then we can start having arguments about what happens if Anthony Joshua wins. Otherwise, because if he doesn't make the fight, I want to sit there and have arguments about what would happen if the fight was made and Anthony Joshua wins. Make the fight first. And then we can talk about what happens in the fight. Damn. Whoa, walk in the room, a lot of red, man. What's going on, Ivy? Webby said, gonna need 99 of that back. I'll send my Cash App, PayPal, Venmo via email. My situation is all bad. Wait a minute. Can the rest of the LDBC this? Oh, shit. This is supposed to be a private conversation for now. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. If they fucked you up for real, if you just laughing about it, hey, I appreciate you so much, Ivy Webb. I appreciate you. But if you did that on accident and it was supposed to be $1, hey, email me, man. I get it back to you. Ma'am, I get it back to you. Thank you so much for the love. That's appreciated. Yeah, Ivy Webb showing love. Don't worry, man. That's going to get spread around, man. That's going to get spread around. We're going to rock on the LDBC channels with that, man. We're going to make it work. That's the thing, man. We got a great community. We got a great community of boxing fans. And that is absolutely. He said, just kidding for not. Thank you, Ivy Webb. I really appreciate you. Made my day. You made me smile. Slip the jab. Ortiz would take that AJ fight on 2 weeks' notice and not have excuses. Yes, whatever, man. Give him the fight. Just have him the fight, man. Just give him the fight. Give him the fight, and then after that, we can start debating about whether it was too soon or not. But he stays ready. He just fought. So I don't even understand why I wouldn't even make that excuse. All he needs is rest. That's it. He got a month rest. Luis Ortiz is very, very active. It's not as if he's pulling out. It's not as if he's pulling out a Lomachenko versus Nicholas Walters. You hear me, Black Fight Fan? It ain't like he's pulling out Nicholas Walters off a year layoff. What's going on, big time? What's going on, big time? But let's transition this to heck yeah, Brian Thomas. The Cuban is definitely dangerous, man. What's going on, Wookie Wook in the building? Wookie Wook. You know, it ain't like but for real, it ain't like he's pulling a Lomachenko or nothing. You know, he ain't pulling a Bob Arum kind of catch people while he's slipping. You know, pull a Lomachenko Regendow on him when Regendow fought 2 rounds in 2 years. You know, all kind of rusty and small. Yeah, I know all these. I got all the excuses, dog. All the excuses for Regendow, man. How the hell is Lomachenko the best amateur of all time when Felix Savon got 3 gold medals? Felix Savon got 3 gold medals last time I checked, doesn't he? Doesn't Felix Savon got 3 gold medals? And he's Cuban. You know what that is like comparing a Cuban? You know, he said, Lord Loma. You know what it is like comparing a Ukrainian amateur record to a Cuban amateur record? It's like saying that you won let's like comparing football teams, like the person that wins the Montana State, the team that wins the Montana State high school football championship to the team that wins the Texas high school football state championship. It's that big a difference. There might be 15 teams in Dallas that can beat the best team in Montana. Okay, Lomachenko fought in the Ukraine. Okay, he didn't fight in Cuba. That's the different things, man. It's the different things. Oh, Felix Savon isn't white. That's right. I forgot. He's not Donald Trump. Anonymous, I wish King Kong Twitter feed would publicly state that he wants it so it can officially squash all Eddie's doubt. Anonymous guy, you have yet to learn. One thing, sir, I can tell you that you yet to learn about Eddie Hearn. Luis Ortiz could get on ESPN, speak perfect English, and say, I want the fight right now. Give me the fight. Eddie Hearn will still lie. Because and then there will be a bunch of people say, well, I don't know who to believe, Eddie Hearn or Eddie Hearn. I mean, I don't know who to believe, Luis Ortiz on ESPN or Eddie Hearn. Because, Eddie Hearn's Luis Ortiz is just lying. He's just saying it because he wanted to be on ESPN. He really didn't mean it. And look what Eddie said. Eddie said that he reached out and he never returned the call. But, and he didn't have much more time. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what the facts are. Eddie gonna lie if he wants to lie. And those suckers are going to believe him because they want to believe him, because they're already in deep. They're already there. They're already in the car. They're already in the car riding down the street, dog. They can't get out. To get out means they got to jump out and fall out and break their neck. They're not going to do it. Eddie Sperm is a liar. Yes, dog. Absolutely. Wookie Wook said, I agree. I agree with Fannon. What is this? What is it? When it comes to Tank versus Loma, Tank ain't even in the same division. How is this a duck? Lopez versus Loma, on the other hand, is another story. Exactly. What's going on, Matthew Valentine? My man. Matthew Valentine, man. Matthew Valentine's definitely one of my favorite subscribers, man. When the channel was really little and I was just getting a whole lot of hate from a whole lot of cats, Matthew Valentine puts them words of support in the comment section. And that always makes it a lot easier to make another video, man, when you got somebody that's speaking, somebody that's encouraging you, man. So, and I do want to thank everybody in the LDBC for the positive words. It really, I go and look at those after, because these UK fans that were getting paid by Eddie, they used to come through so hard, but it doesn't work anymore. Lomo's definitely ducking Lopez. Here's my thing. Yeah, dude, and I'll restate the point. Tank Davis is not at 130 pounds. I mean, he's not at 135 pounds. And Lomachenko left 130 pounds. So why isn't it, if you judge on what people did, you would think that Lomachenko's the one that moved away from the fight. And if he's at 135 pounds, why is he challenging somebody down in weight? Why does he want to go down in weight? Why don't you go up in weight? You say you want championships, you want challenges. Hey, man, go get 140 pounds. They got championships at 140 pounds. Unify 135 pounds and then go, if you wanted to unify 130 pounds, you could have stayed at 130 pounds and did it. Why not? Why not stay at 130 pounds and do it? Why move to 135 pounds? to try to unify that. But then say, well, now I've unified 135. I'm gonna go back down and unify 130. Why don't you unify 140? Get in there with Regis. Regis Prograis will take that fight. He'll take that fight. I'm sure he'll take that fight. Josh Taylor will take that fight. Whoever winds up with them after Baranicek, Josh Taylor will take that fight. I got Josh Taylor beating Baranicek. But they'll take that fight. Dare to be great. You the greatest amateur ever. That should be easy money, Lomachenko. But I like Lomachenko. He's a real dude. John Black Johnny said, I missed your super chat. Sorry, man. But I got a page for the super chats. Oh, it said Loma ain't shit. Salute everybody. Loma ain't shit. Loma can fight, man. Loma's for real. Loma's no joke, man. Loma can fight, man. But look, let's get to Sugar Fantastic in the building, man. Much love in the super chat, man. I said, preach for nine, rebuke white Jesus, dude, for real. I do rebuke white Jesus. It makes no sense. You can't hide in Egypt, dog. You can't hide in Egypt around all them darkies. Okay, looking like a snowflake. It don't work. They'd have found you. Okay, how in the world doesn't even make any sense, man? It doesn't make sense. Just like Lomachenko don't make sense. Come on, man. You ain't got no Ukrainians you can fight. Come on and move up to 140, dog. Come on and move into the light. Oh, yeah, man. Let's get them likes up, man. We got 227 people in the building. Let's get the likes up, man. Hit the like or the dislike. I don't care. It works. But let me talk about Crawford Khan, man. I am looking forward to this fight. Black Fight fan acting like Jim Jones. He's riding for his, man. That's what's up. I respect that. He just happened to be wrong about Lomachenko not getting. Lomachenko, come on, man. What's going on, the Shy? My man, the Shy. What's going on, Stone Love? Yeah, man. Hype Jesus. Oh, yeah. Oh, Matthew Valentine, much love. He said, intelligent boxing, bomb squad, till this day. Pound LDBC. He said, me too for now. Yeah, I rebuke that. I've always been on that. Like, come on, man. That shit don't make no sense. Come on, man. You know that don't make no sense, right? Like, and that's why I can't think some of these guys would go to my church. I'm talking about the real one, like the real concept of it in the Christian church, the Baptist church. I would say that I don't think anybody ever told me that. But I was like, you probably heard it somewhere, but then as a kid, you get it in your head and think that idea is yours. But I was like, man, this don't make any sense, man. Like, nah, I don't buy this. How? What? How? Why? Huh? And there are people that swear up and down on it, man. Some people you think are rational people, but you got to remember when it comes to that, they train being rational out of you, right? Because they're like, look, it's faith. Have faith. Faith means just believe. Don't worry about the truth. I mean, don't worry about what your mind is telling you. Don't worry about the logic of the situation. Just believe. Just believe. And that's what Black Fight Fan TV wants to do. Just believe. Just believe in Loma. Just believe in Loma. Just believe in Loma. You can hear the band going. Nah, dog, I don't believe. I don't believe that he's the best amateur in history. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think there's somebody else out there, dog. I think there's a lot of boxers. I don't see why he would get a fight. How can you negotiate for a championship fight in your contract? How does that work? I promise you I will get you a championship fight within your first two fights. How does that work? How does that work? How does Bob Arum have the power to promise that? What was his ranking? How do you walk in and immediately get put in the top 10 rankings of the WBO? Because there's rules about who gets a championship fight. How did you know that the belt would be vacant when you fought for that vacant title against Orlando Salido? How did you know that? Right? And how did you get ranked? You didn't have to fight anybody to get ranked. You just turned pro and are immediately in the top 5 of the WBO as soon as you turn pro before you do anything. How does that work? How does that work? That seems like some corruption to me. They tell you them tambourines, dog. That sounds like some corruption. That sounds like the very definition of corruption. When you can get a champion, when you can promise it in your contract and get him a shot at a vacant belt in his second fight, that sounds like corruption. That tells you that the ranking systems are crap, because the ranking system is supposed to be based off of your fights. I can see you being turning pro and being ranked in the top 100, or being in the top 100 fighters, and you fight one fight and your ranking goes up to the 20s, but you to be in the top 5, top 10, enough to get a title shot in your second fight, you're rigging the rankings. You're rigging the rankings. You're rigging a championship belt. That means your championship's rigged. And if your championship's rigged, can't respect it, man. Can't respect it. Gotta call BS on that, dog. But Bob does that a lot, just like the way that Terrence Crawford, just to let you know, just like Terrence Crawford got that shot against Jeff Hearn as a mandatory. He had never fought at that weight class before, but he was Jeff Hearn's mandatory. How do you get to be the mandatory and you've never fought in that weight class? Shouldn't you have to fight at that weight class one time to get in the rankings in that weight class? Wouldn't it make sense? So I guess if Lomachenko says, I want to fight at welterweight, automatically, because Lomachenko said he wanted to fight at welterweight, he becomes ranked in welterweight? How does that work? And he's not even a champion in that division. I could understand. I mean, even like with the WBO, you can say well, he's a lower ranking champion he's a WBO champion. So that's an argument, but you can't make that argument for Vasyl Lomachenko. Anyway. Oh, he said, oh, heck yeah, man. That tomato can and that tomato can becoming, dog, tomato Corolla, dog, that being a mandatory, and then, of course, that makes him number 1 pound for pound. But then again, that's the second tin can. That's the second UK tin can, isn't it? In a row that we saw. Didn't Canelo get him? Canelo got some of that British tomato sauce. He got some of that British tomato sauce with that fight with Rocky Fieldhand. So I guess that's right. I guess that's the new way we're going to go in boxing, man. WBO undisputed rule, allegedly. What's that? Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I got you. WBO rules allow a champion one division lower to seek exemption for mandatory challenge in the next fight. Usyk can exercise the same option for Joshua, to Dillian White's dismay if he does so. Watch this. Bullshit. There's all kind of rules. I don't care that it's in the rules. It's still some foulness. But okay, yeah, there's some basis in it. But you can automatically be the mandatory. Automatically, you automatically get a shot at the title. So let me see. Does that mean that who's the WBO? Oh, so let me see this. I'm going to get to the super chats in a second. Let me see something. Who is the champions? Let me see. Who's the WBO 140-pound champion right now? This is the WBO 140-foot champion. If what you say is true about this rule, Maurice Hooker, who's the WBO 140-pound champion, if he chooses to move up, should all immediately become the mandatory for Terrence Crawford. Ito, if he moves up, should immediately be the mandatory for Vasyl Lomachenko. Immediately. I don't believe that they do that, dude. I don't believe that. The WBO, Jaime Munguia would automatically be the mandatory for Demetrius Andrade. Terrence Crawford could immediately get a shot against Demetrius. He ain't going to do that. Oh, against Jaime Munguia. Demetrius, I don't know, man. I have a hard time with that one. But I don't doubt that it's in the rule book. You can put anything in the rule book. It's whatever Bob orders rule book. No issue with that whatsoever. Hey, Mr. J Dub, Tech 20 Texas. Much love in the super chat. Nino Brown Box said, and you lose the second fight and your rank doesn't drop and you immediately get another title shot in your third fight coming off of a loss, White, yeah, oh my God. Yeah, he lost and he went right back in there without his sit tight. Yeah, no doubt about it. You're right. Mr. J-Dub Tex, never seen anything like it. The speed, the angles. So Pernell never existed. Get the F out of here. Oh, no. Pernell Whitaker is the only guy that lost a fight without ever getting hit. Go back and watch Pernell Whitaker versus Oscar De La Hoya. I rarely cry robbery, dog, but for real, is the I hope the statute of limitations ain't already up on that shit. Okay? Because that was highway robbery, dude. That was highway robbery. I was like, how in the world? How could that possibly be the case? Okay, yeah, let me do this. How can that possibly? Pernell got robbed. It was crazy how bad Pernell got robbed, man. That was just horrificness, man. Horrificness. Anthony Tucker, who Loma beat? Who beats Lomachenko? I don't know who beats Lomachenko. If he moves up to 140, I can tell you something. I think Tank Davis has the ability to beat him because Tank Davis has the ability to knock him out. That's the thing. Like, he has the ability to knock him out. Concussive power. And he's extremely fast. And he's got very, very good defense. If Lomachenko gets hit, Lomachenko can go out, dog. And Gervonta Davis punches when you punch. He's a very, very good counter puncher. His defense and his offense off defense is excellent. I think Tank Davis can beat him. Will he beat him is not the same thing as saying can he beat him. Can Tank beat him? Yes, Tank has the ability to beat him. Lomachenko has the ability to beat Tank, I think. But Tank's undefeated. So I don't know what it takes to beat Tank. Lomachenko ain't undefeated. Teofimo Lopez, same thing as Tank. Tank, they have the ability to concuss him. And when you have the ability to concuss somebody that gets hit, that gives you a chance to win that fight. Now, if he moves to 140, Regis Prograis, I think he'll walk through him. I think he walks through him. Josh Taylor, I think Josh Taylor walks through him. But that's why he's going to go back down to 130 and not go up to 140 because he's got some sense. Whenever you're a little dude, somebody can beat you. Just got to get put in the wrong situation. Just got to be put in the wrong situation. No, Lomachenko invented everything he did. Lomachenko invented mathematics. He invented the concept that you can't see of moving over there. He invented that concept. Before that, boxers never changed angles. They always stayed right there in front of you. Like what do you call that game? You know, that game we used to like you just use punch out. Is that what it is? Where you just hit the little boxer on top of his head and he just throws his hands like that. That little Toys R Us game. Nobody ever did that before that, man. Fannon said, Fannon, your work ethics are stellar. You always have proof to back it. Hey, man, I give my opinion. And I try to not talk out the side of my backside. You said it, got to be put in the wrong. Yeah, you got to be put in the wrong situation. You can get anybody, any of them little dudes can. You get put in the wrong situation. And they put people in the wrong situation. Often they'll put people in the wrong situation. All they got to do, if Bob wanted to get him beat, Bob can get him beat, starve him out. Starve him out and make him fight at 140. Make him put on a bunch of muscle. Say, nah, we ain't really got it, and we can't really make these fights at 135 for you, Loma. We need you to go up here and fight at 140. Okay, we need you at 140. All right, and we got this guy. He's a really good fighter. Don't worry about it. But I think you can get him. It's going to be a tough fight. And it is Sean Porter. Sean Porter, we now have 2-day weigh-ins. We have weigh-ins 2 days before the fight. And Sean Porter's moving down to 140. So Lomachenko's going to fight. Lomachenko's going to walk in the ring at, 100, and you get the scenario. Or Adrian Granados. Yeah, we're going to have fight this guy named Adrian Granados. You know, because we're going to move the weigh-in back 2 days. Make sure Adrian Granados gets enough time to get ready. Do you hear Wilder speak on Miller? Yeah, man. I heard. I heard him say that he needed to fight. He said he knew that dude was cheating before. I remember when he said that video in it about leaving those PEDs alone. And he said he knows who all those guys are. We know who all you guys are. Dog, there's some cats on PEDs, man. And guess what? Miller didn't test positive his last fight. He didn't test positive in his last fight. If he gets his B sample back, guess what? He was probably more than likely doping last fight and doping the fight before that but he didn't get caught. So maybe somebody else didn't get caught yet. So much Loma hate, I wonder why. Who really hates Lomachenko? Real Bills talk. Ain't no hate. And why do you wonder? Why don't you tell us why do you think? I wonder why you think it is. I wonder why you think it is, which is an interesting scenario. And let me address it. But look, Hyphy, let's address it. Let's address what it is. And I find this interesting too. You will assume that the reason why people don't like Lomachenko is because he's European, right? Because he doesn't produce a lot of skin color. That's why you think everybody here doesn't like him, right? Or people here are saying he's a hype job. But why would you assume that that's the reason when nobody said that's the reason, that they don't like him? They said they don't like the hype behind him. But why would you put that on me? All I'm saying is facts related to how he got his titles. He got a title shot in his second fight, even though he got a title shot in his second fight, got another title shot right away, even though he lost the one before that. Right? He's only had one fight in his career, which was not a title fight. And he's represented by Bob Arum. And although he's got a loss, people put him as the number one pound for pound fighter over a guy with damn near 3 times as many fights, who's won belts who's unified a division and has fought better competition in Terrence Crawford. But we can predict that that's going to happen. We can predict it. But why would you think we think that? You're making an assumption that it's just because we just don't like him because he's European. That's your bias against us. Yeah, it's your bias against me for sure. Because I'm very clear on the fact that I like Lomachenko as a fighter. I think he's an excellent fighter. But I know that system's rigged for him to get it was definitely rigged for him to get title fights, because how could you even make a demand that you get a title fight in your second professional fight? How can you even make that definition and reasonably expect for that to happen? Unless your promoter can rig things. And Bob Arum has the ability to rig things. And we all know it. And we've known it for a long time, dude. I don't care what you said, Real Bills Talk. You said you wonder why. You talking to me. If you said somebody else, say their name. But you saying the same thing applies to you. You're being biased. You're assuming that that's the only reason and invalidating everything that was said about actual facts about why people believe that. I don't hear anybody saying that about Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant isn't Caleb Plant the 168-pound title holder, right? He's European. He beat Jose Uskatagi, however you pronounce it, for I believe the IBF 168-pound title. Let me make sure that it's not another title. No, it's the IBF 168-pound title. Nobody said that about him. I don't hear anybody saying they don't like Caleb Plant. I've never heard anybody saying that Callum Smith doesn't deserve his belt, didn't do what he deserved to get his belt. I mean, if that was the case, then why wouldn't people just hate everybody? Right? Why wouldn't you see a bunch of videos about people talking bad about Alexander Usyk? Alexander Usyk is a gold medalist, wasn't he? I believe he was a gold medalist. He didn't get a title shot in his first fight, did he? Maybe he did. I don't think he did, though. Nobody arguing about him. He's unified champion. Anybody say anything about Baranchyk? Never heard anybody complain about Baranchyk. I've never heard anybody complaining about let's go through them. I've never heard anybody really complaining about, what is this guy's name, man? Down there at 120, is it 118 pounds or 122 pounds? What's the guy from, is it Warrington? What belt does Warrington have, man? Doesn't Warrington have a belt? I don't see him, man. Why am I missing Warrington, man? But I've never heard anybody. I thought Warrington had a belt, man. It doesn't say on that he did. I thought that he was the bantamweight. I thought he was a bantamweight champion or featherweight champion. Anyway, you get my point. I don't hear people complaining about those guys. What's going on, Suleiman? Oh, yeah, man. Caleb Plant can fight, man. I'm like, did you know there is a street fight video of Caleb Plant? No. But I remember Caleb Plant threatening to whoop Joseph Jose Benavidez. I thought Caleb Plant was from Memphis. He is. He's from Tennessee. I don't know if he's from Memphis. I thought he's from Nashville, honestly. Didn't complain about Kovalev. Nope, not until Kovalev acted a fool. And even now, people are generally supportive of the cat. Like, as far as him deserving to be a champ, the dude made a comeback off that shellacking he got off Andre Ward. But people respect Kovalev. They just don't like him. Respect Kovalev, but don't like him. I don't hear it. But, you know, that's an easy excuse for you to – that's just an easy way for you to brush aside legitimate criticism, is my point. You can complain, oh, they're only criticizing because he's European. That's the only reason why you're criticizing. So we don't have to listen to any of what you said, whether it's true or not. If I said the same, I would say the same thing to anybody that got a championship fight in his second fight. I got an issue with Terrence Crawford becoming the mandatory for Jeff Hearn that quick. Jeff Hearn is European last time I looked at him. You know, last time I looked at him, he's a Euro-Australian. And I said, hey, man, that seems mighty funny that he gets his mandatory named before he ever has a title defense. Because he had a mandatory name before he ever had a title defense. Okay? That's like Tony Harrison getting a mandatory named right after he wins Jermell. Even though Jermell Charlo didn't have a mandatory, Tony Harrison beats Tony Harrison, and automatically, just coincidentally, he gets a mandatory ordered for him to fight Errol Spence Jr. right away. I don't buy it, dog. Christopher Jonet, what's going on? Davis over Gamboa? Absolutely Davis over Gamboa. I don't want to see that fight, though. Because that's like, why? Really? No, that's stupid. No, you're just sounding. But that's what you sound like. You sound racist saying that. You're talking to a group of black people saying that they don't like him just because he's white and he can fight. You're being racist. You sound very racist. You sound like you're judging a group of people based on their race. That's what you're doing. Period. Nobody said we're talking about what Vasyl Lomachenko's actual record is. We're not even saying the guy can't fight. You are saying that. You are absolutely sounding prejudiced. You're judging us and saying that you can't have any reason for what you believe other than the fact that because you're black, obviously you don't like white fighters. You sound prejudiced. You absolutely sound prejudiced. And trying to code it in politeness doesn't make a difference. It's a fact that Vasyl Lomachenko got a championship fight in his second fight, and then he lost that fight, and then he got another one. That's a fact. It's a fact that there are many, many boxers that fight years and years and years and never get a championship shot, including Caleb Plant. Well, Caleb Plant got his championship fight now. There are all kinds of people that come in for the amateurs and don't get a championship shot in their second fight. Gilmore Rigondeaux did it. I'm saying I don't like that. I don't like that he got a championship shot in his second fight. I don't think that that's fair to everybody else who's already been putting in work. And even the fact that he got it because he won 2 Olympic gold medals doesn't sound fair to me, because in America, you don't have a federation that's going to pay for you to get a second gold medal. Andre Ward fought at a weight class above his natural weight class. He didn't have a federation paying for him to do that. His father and trainers had to pay out of pocket to get that. So why didn't Andre Ward immediately get a championship fight after he won the Olympic gold medal? Muhammad Ali didn't get a championship fight in his first fight out of the Olympics. And he won the Olympics when he's 18 years old. He was younger than Vasyl Lomachenko when he won an Olympic gold medal. So yes, you absolutely are. You come into a group of people who you know more than likely consist largely of black people and accuse a bunch of black people of not being able to judge, to have a legitimate opinion about somebody that's European. That is patently bigoted. Brandon, I said, Fannon the Great, has been a minute, been on that nice stuff. See you still dishing out greatness. Man, I appreciate you saying that, man. See, look, Patra and Demetrius, why you still on this channel? I'll read what you got to say. The thing is that anytime a black fighter rise, they always get treated as if they're not good enough until they did this and they didn't have that and haven't fought a person for that reason. What? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Now you're confusing me. I can't go through. I don't understand, man. If Loma's so great, why too small for Loma? I mean, he can move up there and fight at 140, but if he doesn't want to, I don't have a problem. What's going on, Mr. Finesse? I don't have a problem with him not moving up if he don't want to move up. If he's defending his belts, I'm cool with it. If he wants to move back down and unify 130, I'm cool with that too. You know, I would rather that. I'd rather him do that than him, do what Mikey Garcia did, jumping up and down weight classes, looking for the weakest link, coming up with records like coming up with like phony records. Like, I want to be the first person to win belts in 3 divisions inside of 11 months. Like, what kind of record is that, man? Did you just make that record? Did you just make that category up? The time frame in which you win multiple divisions? Get out of here, man. That's just some made-up mumbo jumbo. Who should AJ fight? He should fight Luis Ortiz. Fannon, he's pretty much saying black fighters have to jump through a million hoops to be considered great. Yeah, I think that might have misrepresented what Patreon was saying. Yeah, okay, I got you. But look, man, I'm saying this. I don't know. Anthony Joshua's getting the benefit of the doubt like a champ right now. Right? Yeah, I can find counterexamples. And the way Anthony Joshua's being treated. Anthony Joshua has been treated as easily as had as much preferential treatment as Lomachenko has in the UK. And they steady trying to give him more. Dalton Judge, what's good? Said, what up, Fannon? My birthday Vacay started today, so I'm late. Salute, fam. Did you see Clarissa Shields said she beat Keith Thurman? Happy birthday to you, man. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. Oh, Shevin, anonymous guy, go check Frankie Knuckles on Instagram post he just made. Dude, if Ortiz or his manager won't refute that, then shit, I'm believing Eddie. Why the fuck wouldn't you refute a lie about you? I don't know. What do you believe in? You believe in the guy they say it's too early to take the fight? I don't believe it. And you can't refute everything. I mean, how fast, Frankie Knuckles, how fast is he supposed to refute it? For now, you trying to give facts to someone who gives ridiculous opinions based on emotion, direct your interest, delivering what you always do. Hey, man, I do that every once in a while because it gives Vincent Gallimore, it gives good, nice little conversations for people that have to deal with the same trash. I have no issue stating my opinion on something I think is ridiculous, because then I know that there's a lot of people. I don't go to Twitter. I don't get on Twitter. I don't really do Instagram. I've got a Twitter page, but I don't like go to other pages and comment on boxing on Twitter. But a lot of other people do. And if you can provide provide the logic and the information necessary for them to go out there and do that, hey man, more power to them. And I'm happy to do it. Sometimes you got to state the obvious, man. And plus, sometimes things that I think is obvious to me are not. It really isn't obvious to other people. You know, so it is. You know. That's how I feel about it. Black American fighters, though, for not UK. Let me see. Can I find a cat? I mean, it's tough on black fighters in the United States. I ain't gonna lie. Really and truly, unless you're coming up as the enemy, unless you're getting because really the best example of it is Andre Ward. Andre Ward is one of the greatest fighters. He's the best fighter of his generation, in my opinion. Andre Ward is a first ballot Hall of Fame fighter. He's one of the best fighters that I've ever, and he never got any. You had to force feed that dude credit. You had all kind of people. Oh man, dude, Andre Ward is it's like the anti-Lomachenko. When Floyd retired, like the pound for pound thing to me, like right now, pound for pound is up for question. I mean, you can make an argument for one guy or another guy. But when Roy Jones Jr., in my opinion, when Roy Jones Jr. lost to Tarver, Floyd Mayweather was the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Right away. Like, oh, there's no doubt. It's Floyd. Like, I didn't even give it a second thought. It's Floyd Mayweather. Oh, dang, Tarver just knocked out Floyd. Who's the best fighter in the world? Floyd. And I don't care if he had beaten where he was in his career, it was Floyd. Floyd was the best pound-for-pound fighter, even through his little fake retirements and all that stuff. As long as he's fighting, it was clearly Floyd. When Floyd stopped fighting, it became Andre Ward. No doubt about it. It wasn't nobody's Kovalev. Kovalev was going to get pound for pound. They were trying to give Kovalev the pound-for-pound title because he was fighting a guy that moved up to fight him. How did that make you? And then you lose? Then he lost, and Andre Ward still didn't get it. Andre Ward was, and so then when he retired, it's up in the air between Canelo and Terrence Crawford. In my mind, it's not up for debate between Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford, and Lomachenko. Because there's nothing Lomachenko's done that Usyk hasn't done. There's nothing. That except for lose. So why not Usyk, right? But anyway, man, Floyd didn't market. Man, that shit ain't got nothing to do with it, dude. It ain't got nothing to do with it. Who's the best fighter, man? It got anything to do with him marketing himself. You know who he is. He wasn't fighting in a basement. Every boxing writer, every boxing magazine, they all know who who Andre Ward was. Nobody missed his fights. Okay, he beat Mikhail Kessler. He beat Carl Froch. He beat Sergey Kovalev. He beat Sullivan. He beat Sullivan Barrera. He beat He beat he won the world that Super 6 title. I think Arthur Abrams he beat all the cats. Everybody, y'all know who he is. That's a lame excuse. They didn't market himself well. It's not about marketing you. We're all boxing fans, dude. We're all boxing fans. We all know who these fighters are. We've all watched who these fighters are. We've all seen these fighters fight. And you know dang on well that Andre Ward has not lost a fight since he was 12 years old. And even that they changed. All of a sudden it became 13. Let's move it up a year. I'm like, hold on. The whole time that I'm listening to the coach, he's never lost a fight since he was 12 years old. Why is Vasil Lomachenko a better amateur than him? He hadn't lost a fight since he was 12. He turned pro when he was in his 20. What is he, 19, 20? How is Lomachenko a better amateur than him? He's undefeated since he hit puberty. Shit. Lomachenko lost when he's in puberty. He lost in matter of fact, Andre Ward is undefeated in international competition. Undefeated in international competition. How is Lomachenko a better amateur? Just because Andre Ward went pro early. Just come on, man. There's no doubt. Fannon, you had me laughing when you in 78 put Black Fight Fan, White Jesus. Nah, he ain't shaming, man. That's my brother, man. He ain't shaming him. I appreciate it, though. Hey, thanks. Hey, man, say thank you. Hey, thank you to Ivy Webb. I appreciate you. Thanks. Just seriously, man. How does that Loma was grown man fighting boys in the amateurs? Exactly. He's 26 years old, 25 years old fighting in the amateurs. Let me see how old Ward was. I got to look at this. Because, I mean, seriously, man, Andre Ward is the greatest. He's undefeated. Andre Ward, let me see. How old was Andre Ward when he turned pro, man? And I suck at math, so it's going to take me like 1 or 2. So he's born in 84. He was 20 years old when he turned pro. He was 20 years old when he turned pro. Or 19 years old when he turned pro, right? Because he turned 1 in 85, right? So he was 19 years old. He was 19 years old. So let me see something here too. And he never lost in the pros and fought great competition in the pros. And he won it. And he won at a weight class above where he should fight. I think he won did he win the light heavyweight title in the Olympics? Let's go through this. Where's his amateur career? Ward started boxing in 1994. He was 10. In 2002, he won the national 19 and under national championships. It was also a 2-time U.S. amateur champion in 2001, 2003 at middleweight. Ward finished his amateur career with a record of 115 and 5 losses. So he had 5 losses in his first. When did he turn pro? He started boxing in 94. He was born in 84, so he started when he was 9. He had 5 losses in his first 3 years. So for the last 7 years, he never lost. Come on, man. First place in the ABA 2004 Olympic qualifying tournament. Man, this dude, 2002, 19 and under national champions. In 2002, how old was he in 2002? 17. 2003 United States amateur light heavyweight champion. Dude, he won the middleweight championship, U.S. middleweight championship. Then he won the light heavyweight champion, and that was a weight class above him. And then he won the gold medal in the 2004 Athens Olympics at light heavyweight. And he fought, and he was a middleweight. Why isn't he the greatest amateur ever? You know, anyway, that to me tells you, dude. And Who I don't any Lomachenko. That's funny. So I just don't want to hear it, dude. Andre Ward should have got his. And now let's see, Andre Ward. How long did it take him to get a title shot? A major championship title shot. It was against Mikhail Kessler. And it was against Mikhail Kessler, who was 42-1 at the time. And I'm pretty sure how far he was 42-1 at the time. He had to fight Miguel Kessler, who was 42-1 at the time. And where's Andre Ward's shellacking of this boy? Jack Reese, ain't that funny? And he was 20-0. So it was his 20th. It took him 20 fights to get that shot. 20 fights. An Olympic gold medalist took him 20 shots to get that fight. And when he got the fight, it wasn't for no vacant belt. It was against Miguel Kessler, who was 42-1. And the only loss Miguel Kessler had was against Joe Calzaghe, a Hall of Famer. It wasn't Orlando Salido with 11 losses who just came off of getting knocked out. No, he didn't get. Did he? No. Mikey Garcia. Yeah, did Mikey Garcia? No, he already lost. Yeah, he just got knocked out by Mikey Garcia. He just been knocked out by Mikey Garcia. So, no. Nah, dog. Floyd is not an Andre Ward's generation, man, in my opinion. That's a different generation of boxers because Andre Ward, like I said, he won in the 2012 Olympics. That's 14 years difference, man. That was 14 years difference between the two. Andre Ward is, how old is Andre Ward? 35. He's 7 years younger than Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather was in the 96 Olympics. Or was Ward in the 2004 Olympics? It's a couple Olympics away. Yeah, he's in the 2004 Olympics. He wasn't that late. He's the 2004 Olympics. So he's like the Olympics after that. So I guess they kind of mixed. They did mix a considerable amount of their career. Yeah, Ward won in 2004. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm back to the chat now. Yeah, it's 2004. I know I was screwing up. That's Lomachenko that was in those Olympics. But yeah, that's my point, man. It's like, come on, man. That's how tough it is in the US to get that. To get that type of, and who else? There's been a while since there's Olympic gold medals coming out of the United States. Because you guys tend to because the Olympics tend to rob American fighters. American fighters fight in a more of a professional style where they trying to beat the tar out of you. So, whatever. Ortiz ain't ducking no smoke. Can't blame him for not taking a fight on short notice if he doesn't. I don't believe that he's not going to take that fight, dude. It's not even short notice, man. It's the same amount of notice he had for his last fight and for a hell of a lot more money. They might pay him to shut up, though. Man, speaking of Olympics, what is up with this Tony Yoka cat? Dude can fight, man, but he got suspended in France for doping. Another European that got busted doping, but it's just United States, right? Whatever. Luis Ortiz say he wants now. Man, I believe he wants it now. That doesn't even make sense for him not to. But, they're just going to say, they don't want that. Man, they ain't going to take that fight. He could jump up and down on YouTube say I want. He said that he was calling him out before. Like, oh, no, he didn't. They just act like shit didn't happen. There is no official pound for pound list like that. Hey, what's going on? Christopher said, okay, I got that. Thanks, Christopher. I appreciate you. Yeah, you know how it is, man. These cats just be on some They be on what they be on. Hey, by the way, man, hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed, man. We got 158 people in the building. We got almost 286 people in the building, 158 likes. Let's get the likes up or the dislikes. It don't matter. But just let yourself be known, man. Give me a reaction. I don't think Joshua versus Ortiz will ever happen. No, man, because he can lose that fight. That's a tough matchup, man. That's a tough fight. But, you know, some of these cats want to have it. They want to have their cake and they want to eat it too. He's easy, but he's not ready. If he's easy, then take the fight, okay? Anthony, man, let me tell you something, man. Hey. Oh, you took it out. Dude, the confirmation is on Cali Enigma's channel, man. Okay? It's on Cali Enigma's channel. And who cares? You know damn well he wants that fight. Stop acting silly, man. Jesus Christ. You need people to approve, to confirm to you in a video that the sun is up. It's a fight that was spoke with the guy. Chevin. Look, let me tell you, Chevin, man, you got to stop disrespecting Cali. Cali Enigma called the manager of Luis Ortiz. Cali Enigma did it. It's on Cali Enigma's channel. He's not lying. Now you're saying we need to stop lying. I'm not lying, Chevin. It's on Cali Enigma's channel. If you don't want to go to Cali Enigma's channel and look at the live stream from Cali Enigma, who's been doing interviews with Luis Ortiz team for the last 6 months, that's on you that you don't believe it. But Cali Enigma is also got interviews on his channel with Eddie Hearn. On his channel, interviewing Eddie Hearn. Cali Enigma's at fights interviewing fighters. So if you don't believe Cali, you don't believe Cali. But I'm reporting what Cali Enigma said on Cali Enigma's channel. Now, we've been going back and forth on this several times. I don't care if you can't find Cali Enigma's channel. It's on Cali Enigma's channel. Stop calling people liars because you don't believe Cali Enigma. You don't believe Cali Enigma. That's on you. That's your right not to believe Cali Enigma. But Cali Enigma said it multiple times. I talked to Luis Ortiz, his manager, Jimenez. What else do you want people to say? Cali Enigma knows Team Ortiz. What else do you want? Dude, and Cali, Chevin, at this point, you're being disrespectful to Cali. You're being disrespectful to a guy who is a boxing journalist. He has a boxing channel. It's on his channel. Why would you believe Michael Benson, but you won't believe Cali Enigma? If Michael Benson put on his channel, I spoke with Jay Jimenez, they want the fight, then all of a sudden everybody's going to run with that. But you won't take Cali Enigma at his word that Jimenez, that he talked to Jimenez. I talk to people in Spence's camp. I don't say who they are. I don't talk to them because I don't report them. But those references are easily available to me. If I want to talk to people in Terrence Crawford's camp, I can do it. If I want to talk to people in Regis Porgray's camp, I can do it. So I know perfectly well that Cali Enigma, who focuses on that, has the ability to talk to them. Same thing goes with Blue Blood Sports TV. They have the ability to talk to these people. They're at the fights. I wanted to get a message to Deontay Wilder. I called 78. 78 Sports TV has that guy's number on his phone. I don't have to doubt whether or not 78 Sports TV says something. That if he says, Deontay Wilder told me this, his word is every bit as reliable as Dan Rayfield's. So if you're waiting around on Dan Rayfield to tell you, you're going to be waiting too long. Dude, hey, Chevin, stop. You're twisting words around. everything in the media is hearsay. Michael Benson is hearsay then. If you're going to believe there's no difference between Cali Enigma saying something and Michael Benson saying something. If you believe Michael Benson, then you have no reason not to believe Cali Enigma. They're doing the same thing. They're picking up a phone and they're calling somebody in that camp. So if Michael Benson, if Cali Enigmas is hearsay, so is Michael Benson's. You're being disrespectful to Cali. I'm being straight with you. And I appreciate you on the channel, but you got to cut it out. Because you're being disrespectful to a guy that's doing his work. His word is every bit as good as Michael Benson's. His word is absolutely every bit as good as Dougie Fisher's and Kevin's and Stephen Kim's. He's at the fights. He's at the fights. He's got a video at the fights. But why wouldn't you believe him? If you're going to say, well, I'm waiting around for Michael Benson to tell me, you're being disrespectful to other journalists. And you got to cut it out, man. For real. No, I'm not going to say he's a troll. I'm going to say he's being disrespectful to Cali Enigma. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's disrespectful, man. Straight up. Because you're going to tell me, what about me? If I tell you I just got off the phone with Luis Ortiz's manager, I called him myself. I got a phone. Oh, well, I didn't hear. I'm waiting around for Dan Rayfield to tell me. Okay, you'll be waiting around forever, dude. I'm telling you what the deal is. You can believe me or you don't have to believe me. Okay? Whatever the case is, I know I talked to him. Same thing when these people jumped out there talking about how Wilder had tested positive for steroids. His brother. I go to the Texas website. I call the state of Texas. They say we don't have any record. We don't have any record of him being suspended. You can go to the Texas website and it says that he has an active license. But if I tell you that, you're not going to believe it until you hear Dan Rayfield tell you that. It makes me wonder why you wouldn't believe me. You don't want to believe me. Hey, Chevin, no, I didn't say it. But you're saying you're checking all over the internet and you haven't found a source. I pointed you to a source yesterday when you said it. I have pointed you to Cali Enigma 3 times, at least. And I don't have a lot of patience, man. You're being disrespectful to that man. And I'm going to tell you, you're being disrespectful to that man. And you need to pump the brakes. Because Cali Enigma has it on his channel. And he said who it was. When Cali Enigma says, I got inside sources, but I can't share the inside source with you, then I'll say, oh, hey, Cali, you're telling me an inside source, but you're not telling me who it is. I don't know what I can do with that. But when he says, I talked to his manager, the name of the manager, and they want it known that Luis Ortiz says send the champion. He said that they called him and said, tell people that we want the fight. That is significantly different from him saying, I heard this, but I can't tell you where I heard this from. You're being disrespectful, man. Period. Dog, I'm just telling you. I like you, Chevin, and I don't think you're a troll, but that shit is straight up, that's a no-go. Because you wouldn't, would you do that if it was Dan Rayfield, if it was on ESPN? Would you do that if it was on ESPN? If I could put a link to an ESPN article that says Luis Ortiz's manager, Jimenez, says to send the contract. Luis Ortiz wants the contract. Would then you say, man, I don't believe ESPN? You ask that to yourself. I already know the answer. I already know the answer. You wouldn't do it. But I've already pointed several times to Cali Enigma. Several times. And LDBC sources are solid because we talk to boxers on the regular basis. I know what's going on. I know what's going on with Deontay Wilder quicker by picking up the phone and talking to 78 Sports TV than I do waiting on any boxing media. Any boxing media. I knew, just so you know, I knew that the Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. fight was happening weeks before it was announced. Weeks. I didn't say anything because that's not what I do. I didn't come out with breaking news. Spence Garcia fight is on. Because when the guy told me it, I was like, I'm not sharing that. I'm just so you know, I'm just asking you what's going on, chopping it up. But no, you tell me something, I'm not saying anything. And the only time I'm saying it now is a month after the fight happened. A month after the fight happened. But people, this is real. People talk to boxers, man. And on top of it, I don't even need to know that. It is patently stupid to believe that Luis Ortiz wouldn't want this fight. It's multi-million-dollar fight. What in your mind would tell you that he would rather not take this fight and take another $200,000 payday for the same time frame that he's already been fighting instead of getting $7-8 million to fight him? And on top of it, you call it a lie. Lying is being purposely misleading. You could say, I think it's wrong. I don't believe it. But you say, we need to stop lying. That is an indictment of people's characters and way out of pocket. Anyway. I hate to have gone there, dog, because I read, man, and Chevin, I read it several times. I read it and I listened several times. And I'm like, the first time I told you. Then the second time I said it again. Then the third time I'm like, come on, man. Luis Ortiz has put shit out on boxing scene before, and he still gets shitted on. Absolutely. He said he'd take the fight the last time. They're not going to want that fight, man. And one of the purposes of this stuff is to get the light on a guy that clearly deserves the fight. Clearly deserves the fight. And Eddie Hearn, I'm supposed to believe Eddie Hearn after Eddie Hearn lied, or believe the media people that put stuff out for him? I'm not taking wrenches. I'm just disagreeing strongly. And I tell you, I've done it before. I've disagreed with people strongly. It's okay now. It's okay. It's okay to disagree with people. But doggone, man, you calling me a liar. We need to stop lying. I'm a part of we. I made a video saying Luis Ortiz wanted to fight. So you're calling me a liar. Just to be very, very clear, the way that I took that. You called me a liar. And I'm not lying. My source for that is as good as any source that you have saying otherwise. And by the way, your lack of evidence is not evidence of your absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Got that? Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because you can't find it doesn't mean it's not there. You can't find anything out there saying he doesn't want the fight, other than somebody quoting Eddie Hearn. The only word out there that I've seen is an affirmative, we want the fight, send the contract. That's the only report that's out from Luis Ortiz's team that is not fourth-hand information. Luis Ortiz to Jimenez to Michael Benson to, oh yeah, that's what it is. Let me see how many people that is. That is Jimenez. Oh, we don't even know who it is. By the way, it's just the team. So we don't even know what the team is. The team could be a water boy. So the water boy told Eddie Hearn, we heard from his team. Who's his team, Eddie? What's the team? Are you talking about a trainer? Are you talking about his manager? Are you talking about his promoter? Who's the team? So I don't even know what the team is. Okay, so now it's not even a source quoted. It's just his team. To Eddie Hearn. So it's from nobody specifically to Eddie Hearn to Michael Benson. And I'm saying, dude, the source, they're not even quoting anybody from that. Nobody specific, just somebody on his team. Guess what? There are people that are on the Microsoft team. And hey, or Google team. Well, I'm on the Google team because I have a channel on YouTube. So I'm team Google. So Google's not interested in buying, I get to now speak for Google. You're going to quote me as Google? And then, come on, man. What's up, Sal Gutierrez in the building? That shit, Michael Benson, and that's why Michael Benson said what Michael Benson said. Eddie Hearn's quoting, he's quoting Eddie Hearn, who said, we reached out to his team, and he might not be ready. Might not. So what does that mean? He could have said, well, let me talk to Jay. I don't know, man, because I can't tell you for sure. Oh, that means you might not be ready. Let's report that. AJ doesn't want to fight Ortiz or Wilder 100%, man. Probably not going to see Shevin anymore, but hey, man, you call me all kind of liar, man. That ain't cool. You got your opinion, homie. Oh, no, there you are. Eddie just states Jay Jimenez said it's too soon and he won't be ready. Subject over, dude. You believe that shit, dude? I got a bridge for you. Woolbag, Eddie Hearn also said he thinks Ortiz is getting a Wilder rematch. Tell me where them doing it in the past has helped. All I get is Ortiz is, Crawford, yeah. Listen, family dispute. I got a lot of respect for Shevin. I'm flipped a little bit though because I don't like that lying stuff, man. And you got to do that shit. I've had slight, not even a debate with Callie, but I've gone with Callie. I came. If you're not going to tell me who the guy is, I can't quote that. Because I don't know who he is. But when you tell me the guy talks, you said he's ready for the fight, I'm going to believe Callie over I believe Eddie Hearn. Because I don't have 30 examples of Callie Enigma lying. And I should go back to, hold on. Let me do something. I got a few more minutes. I'm running a little late, but okay, let me see this. Michael Benson. I'm only going to look for this for a second. Told by Eddie Hearn that Jarrell is still waiting on a B sample and could ultimately reapply for his license despite being denied. However, this will provide blah, blah, blah. Eddie Hearn is named Anthony Joshua versus is the first choice. Had initial talks with Ortiz camps, but got the impression they may not be ready. Now, dude, I'm going to ask you something right here, dog. Chevin, this does not say what you said it said. This is April 17th, which is yesterday, and it's the latest one. Eddie Hearn has named Anthony Joshua and Luis Ortiz as the first choice replacement for Jarrell. He had initial talks with Ortiz's camp, but got the impression they might not be ready. Now, I hate whipping out some fucking actually what he said. He said he talked to initial talks with the team, not formal talks, initial talks with the team. It doesn't say Jimenez in there. It says the team. And it says he got the impression. They didn't even say that they said that. They said impression. What does that mean? Impression? What does that mean? You got the impression? They didn't even say it. He's not even saying that they said it. They're not even saying they had formal talks or a formal offer or that they even said that they weren't ready. They said that they got the impression. What does that mean? They're not even disagreeing with what Callie said. That's a non-statement, man. But you said that he said Jay Jimenez. Where? Not on Michael Benson's. They said team. Initial. Let me tell you how many ways that's qualified. Initial conversations. Initial. Which means, what does that mean? You don't even know what initial means. So you didn't actually make an offer to them, right? So you had a conversation, you didn't make an offer. Then it was with somebody on the team. What does that mean? Who's the team? And then what does impression mean? That he may not be ready. Not even the impression that he isn't ready. Or Jay Jimenez said he won't be ready is very firm. Initial talks with somebody on a team that in the impression, but yet you got Cali Enigma saying Jay Jimenez said send the contract. But you do get validated that they didn't send the contract because it's initial conversations. I'm Team Cali on this one. What's going on, Mookie? Much love in the super chat, man. But look, man. You're talking about something that Eddie Hearn said. I don't care if it's Eddie Hearn saying it on here. Eddie Hearn doesn't have any credibility. Eddie Hearn does not have any credibility. Eddie Hearn was on the Boxing Voice and said that they had never spoken to Deontay Wilder's team about a fight. And it was a lie. Because Shelly Finkel got on the interview with him and said, yes, we did. And he showed the emails. And then only after that did Eddie Hearn go back on what he said. Eddie Hearn also said on many interviews that they didn't get proof of funds. Then he turned around and said that he never asked for proof of funds. Then he turned around and said he never got proof of funds. You cannot quote somebody that has no credibility, man. And I don't have to go look at Frankie Knuckles. Dog, he's got no credibility. It's Eddie Hearn. Nah, dog, that's a losing argument, dude, that for pride's sake, you need to jump up off of. Because okay? I did a video just to show Chevin that I'm the type of guy that is willing to do the same thing I'm asking you to do. I'm telling you, I told other cats, don't quote Bob Arum. Whoa, Bob Arum said, man, don't ever quote Bob Arum to me. I can show you on case after case after case after case where Bob Arum has told stories, and that is not the way Bob Arum does it. Everybody that's ever debated me on that stuff loses because you cannot quote or rely upon the sources of somebody that is known to make things up. You can't do it. He has no credibility. I've done this. When I said something about Terrence Crawford. I did a video. I had to take it down because I said, "Oh, Terrence Crawford's wearing Gucci," and then somebody's like, "Oh, Fannon, you're being too hard on." That photo was taken a week before the announcement came out about the blackface mask for Gucci. And as much as I hated it, I had to go once. Because I hated doing it because everybody hates being wrong. If you out there and you wrong, you hate being that way. It's a reasonable feeling to have. But when it's dead in your face, you got to stop and back up and say, you know what? This guy's right. I looked at the photo. I looked at the date on the press conference that he was wearing Gucci head to toe, Terrence Crawford, and it was the last week of January. All the hubbub started for the fight about Gucci in the first week of February. What I thought was wrong. And I had to take down my video and I had to put a retraction statement in my next video so that anybody that listens to me again will say, well, hey, man, if Fannon thought he was wrong, he'd admit that he was wrong. And that adds to your credibility. You are quoting Eddie Hearn. You are quoting Eddie Hearn. You can't quote Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn is already perjured himself many times. You can't do it. Just like Oprah Winfrey's looking like a moron. She puts all that stuff that those guys who admitted being perjurers on her show, and everybody that was familiar with it just waited around for her to fall in the mud. Because we already knew all this stuff. None of this is old. None of this is new. You can't believe that guy because he is on record lying. You can't believe him. And I'm telling you, you're never going to convince anything that Ortiz is not willing to take $7 and $8 million, instead fight for $200,000 instead of $7 and $8 million on the word of Eddie Hearn. And you should take a step back and think about what you're saying before you even put that out there. That's not logical on its face. You're telling me that Luis Ortiz, whose career high payday is $500,000, fighting an absolute killer against Deontay Wilder, would not take a replacement fight for a guy that was rumored to get $8 million on DAZN because he's not ready. He needs more time. Needs more time for what? To fight for a $300,000 fight? He doesn't got a fight with Deontay Wilder coming up. Deontay Wilder has a fight with Dominic Brazil in May. But so even the logic that he has a fight with Deontay Wilder coming up is ridiculous. Because Deontay Wilder has a fight 2 weeks before the fight with Anthony Joshua. 2 weeks. So even if he took the Anthony Joshua fight, he would still be able to get a fight with a rematch with Deontay Wilder. Because those fights are virtually on the same damn day. May 16th and June 1st? Check a calendar. That's May, June. Those are 2 weeks separation. So when Eddie Hearn says, oh, he might be trying to get a Wilder fight, he's in line for a Wilder fight, he can't get a Wilder fight until the end of 2019. This fight doesn't even stand in the way of that. So who is he waiting to fight? Who is he going to fight that's going to get him that much money, that's going to get him more money in one night than he's earning his whole career? But on the word of Eddie Hearn, a guy that has gone out of his way on multiple occasions not to make the Luis Ortiz Anthony Joshua fight, on the word of a guy that is on record having said that maybe they will drop the WBA belt before they fight Luis Ortiz. He said that the first week of June of 2017. What logic? So logic is against that conclusion. Pure logic is against that conclusion. And it's on the logic of somebody that is a known liar. But I have Cali Enigma, who said he spoke directly with the manager. And he says, send the contract. You need to let the argument go. You got to. Because it's just a shit argument. And when I say a shit argument, I mean a full-fledged, 400-foot deep pile of shit argument, okay? Nobody's going to believe that, and you lose credibility and look stubborn by making it. You just look stubborn. Anyway, man, everybody know who I'm just talking about that argument, man, because that's not cool, man. Anyway, it is what it is, and my most important thing, dog, is, it is, man. I ain't lying about something, man. Come on. Anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace. Hey, much love to everybody in the super chat. Go check out KQKC Boxing and Blue Blood Sports TV is probably gonna be coming on. All these cats, man. He said, I never called you a troll king. I just said Cali Solid agreed to disagree. Yeah, that's cool. We can be agree to disagree. Cali, I gave Benson your YouTube video where you spoke about Luis Ortiz management. Hey, man, much love, Chevin Body. And by the way, Chevin, much respect, Chevin. But nah, Chevin ain't a troll. That's just a good, healthy disagreement. And I respect that, man. And I respect you a lot. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. All right, man. Anyway, I'm out. Peace. Thanks, Chevin, for putting up with that. I appreciate you, man. And much love and respect to Cali Enigma, too. Peace.